free expression is guaranteed in our constitution, not only in our constitution, but also in another part of our law, which is the European Convention of Human Rights, which is a part of Maltese law. Now, what the rule that has been laid down is that we all have the fundamental right to express ourselves. However, this right is not absolute. As with any other right, there are limits. For example, if I were in the military, it would not be permissible for me to divulge state secrets to another country or to the military of another country. So that would be one example of how free expression would be justified. The other end of the extreme, we have my right as a private individual to guard my own reputation and my own good name. So that is why we have the laws of libel, so that if people lie about me and say things that are untrue about me, I have a right to defend myself. So no right to free expression is absolute. There is the rule, which is free expression, subject to a number of limitations. Now, what's crucial about this rule is that the limitations need to pass a double test. And that is that the limitation has to be in the interest of a defined public interest, and not only a public interest, but that public interest has to be justifiable in a democratic society. So, not just Maltese society, but democratic society as a principle rather than as a specific society. I think there have been 3 particular cases in the last year and a half, 2 years, that have been significant. The first one is definitely the stitching case, which is about the play that was banned. There was the censorship of people at the Nadur Carnival, and there was also the case of the publication of the Realtà magazine by a story written by Alex Velagera. What's been significant in these cases is that it's attacked artistic freedom, and artistic freedom across all cultures, across all societies, has usually been granted a greater degree of elbow room that real life, so to speak, has not been afforded. It's a worrying trend, because if we are going to limit the arts, we're limiting a very basic form of expression. So yes, it certainly is a very worrying trend. Our current regulations on classification were last drawn up in 1937. They are archaic. There are sections of these regulations which talk about prohibiting the use of lime in lighting up theatres. They're harking back to pre-electricity days. Now, the values of our society today about environmental issues are not the same they were in 1980, in 1950. Our values about issues that are constantly in motion, issues that are constantly in evolution, change with time. And just as we have changed our approach on the environment to what it was in 1950, to what it is in 2010, similarly our views on what is publicly acceptable to be performed, to be uttered, to be spoken, to be read, have changed. So yes, certainly we need to update them. I see the need for classification. As a parent, you need to know whether you're taking your child to see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or Chitty Chitty Gang Bang. One peculiarity about the regulations here in Malta is that the classification board still retains the power to ban, whereas this power has been removed from any other board or authority across Europe. And Malta is perhaps unique in that sense. No one, at least certainly not the group of people I represent, no one is saying ban classification, remove classification. I think classification has a role to play in our society. But certainly, if we've reached the age of majority, if we were 18 years old and you're allowed to marry, to vote, to have children, to take out a mortgage, you should be allowed to pretty much see whatever it is you want to see.